Nice! Over 8,000 different wallets were hacked on Solana. But what was the cause of this? I decided to do some more digging and research on this and tried to figure out what happened. Based on blockchain analytics, they were able to locate that several of the users that were affected were through the Slope community. If you read here, it says a cohort of Slope wallets were compromised in the breach. If you guys don't know what the Slope wallet is, it's similar to something like a Phantom wallet or a MetaMask. It is a hot wallet that generates the private keys. As you can see here on slope.finance, you can download the extension onto your browser. This is where the integration comes into play with the hot wallet. If you scroll down, this actually shows you the UI of the wallet. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad UI, it's pretty clean, but what happens is they can generate their keys on this hot wallet. That's where it comes into play. When you generate your keys on a hot wallet, it's stored on that device. This is why I prefer to use a ledger. So anyone who integrated their ledger onto the Slope wallet were not affected by this hack because the ledger stored the private keys inside this device. However, on a hot wallet, that's not the case. And as you can see here inside this article straight from the Slope team, it says, if you are using a hardware wallet, your keys have not been compromised. Now, why is that? It's because the keys are stored in the ledger. Now, Ledger's not the only hardware wallet. They also have Trezor as well as several others, but I prefer to use the Ledger. There's a link in the description below so you guys can get 20% off of a Ledger if you guys would like to use that. Now let's go and discuss the Nomad Bridge hack. This was $190 million lost into this hack. Well, to understand what happened exactly, you need to know what a crypto bridge is. A crypto bridge allows asset owners to move assets between different blockchains. So say for example, you have some assets on Ethereum and you want to go to Avalanche, you use a crypto bridge in order to bridge from one chain to another. There are many kinds of bridges, but the two main bridges that you will typically see are trusted bridges. These are ones that usually rely on centralized exchanges or a group of multi-signers. So the weak link in this type of bridge is compromise between all the signers. The second is a trustless bridge. This relies on smart contracts. So the risks to this are the code in the smart contract. If they are not coded properly or there's errors inside the code, then there can be exploits. So here's what happened with the Nomad bridge. In this tweet here from Sam, this explains what happened on the Nomad bridge. It accidentally auto-approved every single message. So based on the information, all the hacker had to do was figure out the transactions that were sent out and replace the user's address with the hacker's address. Once the hacker's address was put in there, any funds that were bridged were actually bridged to his wallet. Because normally you bridge from your wallet to your wallet on a different chain. However, the hackers changed the destination change, to their wallet. So it goes from the user to the hacker's wallet. This was due to the error in the code that auto-approved every single message. Now, these aren't the only two hacks. In fact, there are numerous other hacks. There was one recently on Harmony. There's one on the Wormhole Bridge. There's one on Poly Network. There's one on Axinfinity. You can go on and on and on and on. The reason why I'm going over these hacks and these different exploits is so you can protect yourself in the market. I want to give you guys 7 different tips you guys can use to protect yourselves in the market. The first is getting a hardware wallet. Guys, it's that easy. Just get a hardware wallet. They cost you like 40, 50 bucks and your keys are stored in this device instead of on a software wallet. That eliminates 90% of the issues that can potentially occur. The second would be revoking access to trusted apps or different protocols. In this Discord message, it says there's some news going around about a new Solana wallet vulnerability. For everyone's safety, it's best to revoke access from all the trusted apps in the wallet. In order to do this is actually really simple, especially if you're using a MetaMask. All you do is click this 3 little dots and you hit connected sites. Once you hit the connected sites, this will allow you to disconnect any of the different sites. So if you say disconnect, it'll actually disconnect your connection to that site. Now, of course, this is different on other wallets, but most wallets have similar features. Now, this in particular would protect you from phishing attacks because if your wallet is connected to a site, they can go back through that site and see all the different wallet addresses that are connected to their site. At that point in time, they can airdrop you tokens, and these tokens could be malicious. And what I mean by this is if you go on Uniswap and you try to swap them and you approve it, you're actually auto-approving to drain all your funds in your wallet. It's not a lot of fun. So if you get random airdrops, be careful. Now the next step would be to revoke all the token approvals. I've already revoked all my infinite approvals with this wallet, but you can see here on etherscan.io with the token approval checker, you can revoke any of the allowances. It'll be a button here, you click it and it'll allow you to revoke it. I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can use that. If you want a cleaner UI, you can use something called revoke.cash. This will tell you how much of the allowances you approved on a certain dApp. It will allow you to reject that approval. This one is only on Ethereum mainnet. If you're on other chains like Phantom, Optimism, etc., just use their blockchain explorers. And most of the time they will have a token approval app that you can reject previous infinite approvals. If you don't understand what I mean by infinite approval, every time you go to swap on something like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, SushiSwap, it has you approve the token that you're swapping. Typically when you approve, most of the time you're just doing infinite approval. What this is saying is that this dApp is allowed to take any of that certain token out of my wallet. So if I approve USDC and I do infinite approval and I got $1 million in my wallet, and let's say for example that smart contract is hacked, a hacker would be able to then go into my wallet, especially if it's a hot wallet, and withdraw the funds. I approved it on the contract. Now the next tip I want to give users is do not store all your funds on one wallet. That way, if one wallet is compromised, you have your funds diversified in other wallets. In fact, this is the strategy that I use. I have 3 separate wallets for each wallet that I want to have. I know it sounds a little funky, but let me go and explain what I mean. If I have $100,000 I want to invest, I split up that $100,000 into different wallets. For this example, we're just going to say 4. So I'll put 25, 25, 25, and 25. Now, of those different wallets, I'll select one that I'd like to use for farming. Inside that wallet, I will split it up into 3 separate wallets. I'll use one of the wallets for airdrops / testing different dApps. The second would be for savings for that wallet, so the bulk of the funds. And the third would be for farming. So if I want to do a quick in and out degen farm, then I want to have a little bit of funds that I don't have it on a ledger to where I have to click all the buttons and move around. This is more of a quick in and out. And then I have the airdrop / testing different dApps, because if there is some phishing or some funky business going on, they can have all the funds in that wallet because there's like nothing in there. And then for the savings wallet, it basically just sits there and does its thing. It doesn't do nothing. Just sits there, doesn't touch dApps, and occasionally, if I need to fund my farming wallet, I'll send money from my savings wallet to the farming wallet. Now, the classic saying, not your keys, not your crypto, applies to this as well. Store your private keys offline. I don't need to say anything more about that. And the last tip I have is, if you have a significant sum of money, use a separate device for crypto. If you just have a couple $100, it's really not worth it. I mean, just factor it in like this. If you buy a new device and it costs you $1,000 and you got $200 in crypto, I mean, come on now. This is more so for a significant amount. So stay safe as well as protect yourself in the crypto markets with the different tips I gave you earlier in this video. First, get a hardware wallet. Links in the description below so you guys can get 20% off one. Second, revoke access to trusted sites. It's not worth the phishing attacks. Just get rid of them. Third, revoke the infinite approvals. Go on revoke.cash or even on the blockchain explorer and just revoke them. Fourth, don't store all your funds in one wallet. There's a chance that that wallet becomes compromised. Don't be that guy who throws all your money in one basket. Fifth, store your private keys offline. Don't store them on the device. It's not safe. Sixth, consider using a separate device for crypto. Now this comes with a caveat, of course. You don't want to get it for like a small amount. This is typically for a larger sum of money. And last but not least, when you have the separate wallets, have separate wallets inside those separate wallets. These can be for airdrops / testing apps. This could be for your savings, and it can also be a wallet for degen farming. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Let's go ahead and hit you with a wisdom one-liner. Proverbs chapter 12, verses 9. Better to be a nobody and yet have a servant than pretend to be a somebody and have no food. Man, dude, that's so true. Make sure you're spending money on necessities, not wants.